Draw the transformation of each graph. In part A, we'll draw the graph of y equals f of 1 over 3 times x minus 1 plus 1. This transformation is telling us to 1. Stretch the graph horizontally about the y-axis by a factor of 3, 2. Horizontally translate the graph 1 unit right, and 3. Vertically translate the graph 1 unit up. The stretch must be performed first, followed by the translations in either order. Begin by applying the horizontal stretch. Multiply all of the x values by 3. Now apply the horizontal translation. Add 1 to all of the x values to move the graph 1 unit right. Next, apply the vertical translation. Add 1 to all of the y values to move the graph up 1 unit. Finally, draw the graph. In part B, we'll draw the graph of y equals f of 2x plus 6. When we have a binomial as the function input, it must be fully factored to read the transformations correctly. Factor out the 2 to get y equals f of 2 times x plus 3. This transformation tells us to 1. Apply a horizontal stretch by a factor of 1 over 2, and 2. Translate the graph horizontally 3 units left. Remember, stretches are applied before translations. Begin with the horizontal stretch. Multiply all the x values by 1/2. Next, apply the horizontal translation 3 units left. Subtract 3 from each x value. Finally, draw the graph. In part C, we'll draw the graph of y equals f of 3x minus 6 minus 2. When we have a binomial as the function input, it must be fully factored to read the transformations correctly. Factor out the 3 to get y equals f of 3 times x minus 2 minus 2. This transformation is telling us to 1. Apply a horizontal stretch about the y-axis by a factor of 1 over 3, 2. Translate the graph horizontally 2 units right, and 3. Translate the graph vertically 2 units down. The stretch must be applied first and the translations last in either order. Begin by applying the horizontal stretch. Multiply all the x values by 1 over 3. Next, translate the graph horizontally. Move the graph to the right by adding 2 to each x value. Now apply the vertical translation. Move the graph 2 units down by subtracting 2 from each y value. Finally, draw the graph. In part D, we'll draw the graph of y equals 1 over 3 times f of negative x minus 4. When we have a binomial as the function input, it must be fully factored to read the transformations correctly. Factor out negative 1 from the binomial within the function. This gives us y equals 1 over 3 times f of negative x plus 4. The transformation is telling us to 1. Stretch the graph vertically about the x-axis by a scale factor of 1 over 3, 2. Reflect the graph about the y-axis, and 3. Horizontally translate the graph 4 units left. Stretches and reflections must be done first, in either order, followed by translations. Apply the vertical stretch about the x-axis. Multiply all the y values by 1 over 3. Next, reflect the graph about the y-axis. Multiply all of the x values by -1. Now apply the leftwards horizontal translation. Subtract 4 from each x value. Finally, draw the graph.